go back and revisit. And so let me just click now. I'm going to use the wizard by clicking on the plus button. And here you type the, you know, I don't know, you know, this is going to be health administration or whatever you want to call it, whatever project that you want to call your project. And I'm going to click OK. And here is a description. I'm not going to put a description right now, but you can definitely describe your project here. And then add an image, a relevant image to it. And to add images, maybe it's a good idea for me to show you. Basically, I am using a new tab in Google, and I'm going to type in here health. And in here, I'm going to just go to images, find an image that's relevant to health administration, and whichever, I don't know, I'm going to just choose this. And then I'm going to right click on it and copy image address, go back to Project Pulse, and here where it says insert URL, I'm going to just insert the URL that I just copied and click go, and here is my image, and now I can continue. This is where it gives you one tab templates. We have a whole selection of one tab templates that what they are helping you do is build a custom project that more or less fits what you want to create. So this is basically helping you customize it with things that are already have been done, and that you can just customize, you know, and change a little bit, and you know, so that it fits exactly what you are teaching. So these are like beginning templates, beginning tabs, I should say. Let's say that you want to start your project with a brainstorm. If you hover over it, you'll see what to expect because it gives you a screenshot. And let's say that, you know, it's going to start with a brainstorm or with an observation or just an introduction. You know, I'm going to choose maybe the brainstorm here. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to add another tab, another phase to the project. So what else do I want to add to it? So what I'm going to do is, I don't see any, here it gives you more suggestions. And if neither of these are fitting what you need, you can click on more templates. And here we have all our one tab templates that you can choose from. So let's say that the next one is that they come up with some ideas about the topic that they are brainstorming about. So you're going to add that as a next step. And then you can still keep adding, you know, and again, if neither of these, let's say that project processes, or you want to add a process here. So you can select that, and then you can say finish. And what it creates for you is it creates for you a project with all those tabs that you just copied from our one tab repository. And so that means in the beginning, here is the brainstorm that you copied, the brainstorm tab with, and what these are, again, these are the scaffolding that exists there, that the students, all they have to do is just start typing their ideas here, because they also have the editing tools above here and they can just type. The next tab is the ideate that I was talking about, that they come up with some you know, some problems that they identify in whatever subject you are working on. And then they come up with some solutions. These are their ideas, that what they are coming up with. And then finally, that let's say that they just need to record some type of a process, since you guys are working on all kinds of processes. And so this is these are scaffolding from processes. And again, you don't have to leave it the same way. What's great about it, that you can, of course, customize everything. You know, here are two ways of actually recording processes, either by using the text boxes or by using the annotations, which actually allow you to add images as well as text and a title and even a video if you need to. So that's how you do using the wizard. And so here it is. Here's the project that I just added. It's showing up here. And finally, the last way to add projects, of course, is when you really feel comfortable and you want to design the whole thing on your own. And then what you do is you just click on the plus button and do the same process. I'm going to just call it test here. And I'm going to not add the description right now and neither the image. But here, this is where you choose the blank. You choose the blank because that's going to, and then press finish, because that's going to give you that project that you can now start doing from scratch. And here it gives you again like an empty workspace, complete empty workspace. And you can, this is your first tab. And of course you can add a new tab. You can even, if you forgot and you decide that you still want to use some of those one tab templates, you can here add new tab from templates, and it's giving you all those one tab templates, and you can still add them. So there's, you know, you don't necessarily have to go back and do it again with the wizard. So these are the 3 ways to add projects. Another change that we did is that the project dashboard is moving here to the right side. How do you access it? On the top right corner, there's these 3 lines. And when you open it up, because we don't have an image, the image doesn't show up. But if you have a project image, it's going to show up here. And it's also, so here are those, the functionalities of the dashboard are on the right side. So edit details. So this is where you type in the name of the project. I called it test. This is where you also can type in the description for the project. So if you did not do it before, you can now do it. There's a whole editing tools here for you. And this is also the place where once students finish the project, they can select the status, they can change it to finish, and you can then also change it to graded once you grade the project. You can also, we also have here a list of the team members. Right now it's only me. Once you add students, they will show up here. The next one is standards. If you need to add standards, it's really easy to add. Click on add standards. And here is where you start selecting the standards. And I believe that you guys need to select the California standards and then need to select what type of standards. So here are all the CTE standards, by the way, that you can select from. So, you know, if CTE, we are talking about health here, then we can select, just a second, engineering, fashion, health and sciences. And here you select the grade levels. And of course, there should be a list of all these standards that you can select from. And I think that I just discovered the problem here because we don't have the check marks here that you can select. So usually you have a check marks here that you can check mark, and then it will go. So there's everything is here. Oh, here it is. But not everything has it for some reason. Oh. You can only select the main standards, which is a problem. So once you select, I'm going to check what's going on here. So this will be fixed. And then you selected these standards, and these standards are going to show up here. And then after standards, there is tasks. So tasks now, when you click on new task, it shows up. You can type in the title, what is the task? And then what is the due date for the task? You can then describe the task, how it should be done. And then once students are part of the project, their names are going to show up here with the ability to check mark who will do the task, the specific task. Tasks can be performed, can be actually created both by you as a teacher and also by the students. And once you create the task, you press submit, and the task is showing up here. And let me just, create a task, a test, so that you'll see what's happening. And I'm going to choose a due date and another description test. And I'm going to press submit. And here it is. It's going to show up like this. If you want to see the task, you open it up here. And you can, by the way, edit it. There is a way to edit by clicking on the pencil. If you made a mistake or something, you can also delete it. And your students, the student who it was assigned to only can check mark it once they finish the task. And you can also do that as you can also do that as well. So that's the tasks. And here is where you assign a project to a class. So let's say that you want to assign this test project to a class. What you do is you click on assign to class. And now we have a few ways of assigning projects to class. So let's say that I'm going to put in here into the health class. So what happens when you press the assign to class, all your classes are going to show up here. And then what you do is you select the class you want to assign it to. And then you have two ways of assigning teams now. One way is you assign teams ahead of time. You will do the teams. You will decide who's going to be in a team. That's create teams. The other is when you delegate, is when you decide that you are going to delegate it to the students and they will decide who's going to be in the team with them. I'm going to choose the first way, the create teams. And here it gives you now all the students in that class. So what you can do now is you can just click, and then let's say that you have 2 students in a team, and then you press add to team. And then click, and add to team. So you just create teams one after the other, and until you finish all the students in the class. And there you just created 4 teams with this project. And now you will go to finish and assign. And what happened here, that in the health class, we just created 4 projects with the different student names in it, as you see here. And when the students are coming, they will see their project, they will log in, they will see their project and click on it and start working. The other way, when you are delegating, is, and let me show you. So let's say that I am in my drafts now, and I'm going to take this health administration project, and I'm going to now, I want to assign it to a class. So what I'm going to do is go assign to class again here, and I'm going to choose again my health class, but this time I'm going to choose skip teams and assign. And this time the assignment goes to, you're still under the health class, but the assignment goes to assignments. On the top here next to project, there is assignments. And in assignments, here it is on the top, health administration that was just assigned by the teacher. So here there are 2 situations. One, if this project is assigned to every individual student, then every one of them will press the start button. If this is assigned to just a team leader, who then will decide who is going to join him or her in the team, then only the team leader will press that. So let's say that I am now going to sign out and sign in as a student in that class. Let me show you what happens. So now the student signed in, and she's going to her health class, and she's going to assignments, and she finds the health administration project there, and she's pressing start. And she gets a message that says, if you are part of a group, only the group leader should start. And she's going to confirm that, yes, she's the group leader. And when she does that, she gets the roster of all the other students. And she will now decide who else is going to work with her. Let's say that she decides that Danielle is going to work with her. And then she presses confirm. And then what happens, her project with Danielle is going to open up. So here it is, her and Danielle and the teacher. Teacher is always part of every project. So let me go to the class again and show you what happened. So now you will find that project in projects, not under assignments anymore, but now it moved to projects. And here is her copy, the students, Elizabeth and Daniel's copy is here. Now, in this case, of course, every team leader needs to do this. So every team leader will go in and will add the other student that works with them. And then that project moves from assignments to projects. And when they start working, they come into projects and find their project and start working. Please stop me if you have any questions. Stop me at any time, okay? Now,
I have a question.
yes.
So if I'm using, say, bookwork, and I have my books in the classroom, can we upload the assignments from the books into these Project Pals?
So what do you mean upload the assignments from the book into Project Pals? I'm trying.
Okay, so our books that we use in the classroom, I know we're creating a project here, but if I wanted to use like sections out of a book to put inside there, maybe a chapter for them to reference to, can we do that?
I'm assuming it's a digital chapter, so it's not a real physical book, right?
No.
So it's digital. We can find it as a PDF or something like that, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So the way to do that is, let's say that now I want to add supporting materials. So like I said, again, we are going to the workspace and we are going to what it says. So let me sign out of this because this is the student who signed in. And let me sign out here and sign in again as me.
Miriam, as you're doing that, I had questions. So I did a PBL last year at Diamond Ranch when I was working there, and the problem that I ran into is the resources that we had available. There was not enough resources that we had. I know that we had training with you and pretty much what you're going over today, and I know that some of the things changed and it looks really good now, or it looks better. But some of the struggles that I encountered while doing these projects through Project Pals was a lack of like resources or maybe like tutorials, because I was kind of new and I was just kind of going by what I was taught. That's all I had to kind of teach the students and how to navigate Project Pal. So, I mean, although we kind of figured it out to some degree, I felt like maybe we needed a little bit more. Do you guys have now maybe video tutorials that we can offer for students to see, and that way they can get acclimated to it?
Absolutely. So here is our video tutorials, and this goes by functionality. How to teachers sign up, how to students sign up, how to import Google Classroom. These are very short videos, as you see. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I think the longest is 7 minutes for these. And we are adding more because we just moved, as I said, we just moved our dashboard. Everything that's here is moving now to the workspace. So to make it more, you have everything in one place. So this is where you have all the dashboard functionalities now. And so we are going to make, now that they finished, our development team finished this, I'm going to keep doing the tutorials for how to work on the dashboard on the right side here. But in addition, all the functionalities like, how to add text, how to add media, how to add questions, all these things already exist here, as I showed you in all these videos that we have. How to use the content library, how teacher assigns project and sets up teams. All these things are here. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome.
that-
Thank you.
Perfect. And I'm going to send you a link to that, of course. And we will also update. I know that we need to update our supporting articles also, because like I said, we made changes. So all those are going to be done in the next few weeks. So that's that. And you asked me about how to add, Rosalind asked me about how to add supporting materials. So let's say that I have a PDF that I want to add here as supporting materials. I'm going to come here to the 3-line menu on the right side, go to supporting materials, and here I'm going to find a PDF that I want to add. So I'm clicking add materials, and I have the options of either searching it on my hard drive, which I can do right now. So let's just, let me just go here and find something. And let's find some article here, some PDF, and I don't know. And I'm going to just click open here, and there is your PDF that you can now take from your book or wherever you're taking it from. And when the students are going to watch this, they are going to click on it, and it opens up here and they can read. So you can add this way. You can add websites. You can add, I can even go in here and here I had health administration. I can go back and I can take a web page, and I can select its URL, and I can go back to Project Pals, and I can click on the add material and paste whatever the URL here, and that will show up here. So this looks like a link to a website, and when the students click on it, it will open that page. Okay. You can also add, in addition to PDF, in addition to websites, you can add YouTube videos. You can add MP3 files, not to exceed 50 megabytes. You can also add any G Suite file, any of the G Suite files, and any Office 365 files. All those can be added here as supporting material for the student. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Okay. So that's that. Things that have changed. We have now, what I said in text, we have now click to edit. So you click inside and you have the whole entire, once you click, you have all the editing tools here. All the student has to do is just start typing, and that's it. It's really easy. And then you have now, as I said before, we also have, and I'm sure you have, we had it before, we have the content library. So everything that is being created by you or by the student is recorded in the content library. And let's say that the students here come up with ideas, and then you want to create a new tab where you want to compare and contrast their ideas. You want to create like a compare and contrast table. And you can now go back to the content library, and you can go to the analysis tiles here, and every single one of their ideas, the problems that they identified, can now be dropped by clicking on the arrow, copy to workspace, and you can now just place them on the workspace next to each other, and keep doing that by adding all those, keep adding them to the workspace, every single problem that they identify, and because you want to discuss it with the class or do something and you want it in one place. So you can now gather all these things, place them next to each other, and compare and contrast what they came up with, or whatever you want to do. So as you see, you can repurpose information. So information can be repurposed this way. So that's the content library. The other thing it allows you to do also is it also, let's say that students are coming to the workspace and either inadvertently or in purpose, they are deleting some content that was either written by them or by another student. And so all they have to do is just click on the 3 dots here and go to archive. Now, as you see, there is no delete, there's only archive. So anything that you remove from the workspace is archived. And that's done in purpose because of those situations where students may, either delete it in purpose or delete it inadvertently, and then it's gone. And so we wanted to avoid that. And so to restore something like that, you need to go again to the content library, but this time you're going to select on the top, you're going to switch to show archived. And here it is, the one that I just archived is here and can be restored. So once you click, it just restored it and put it back here. So that's a very important thing for you to do. Other things that we have is, of course, like I said, the media tool. So the media tool, so let's say that I want to add here some media. I can click on I can go again back to images here. And let's say that I'm going to choose some other media here. I don't know, anything. Maybe this or this. And I'm going to, so I'm going to right click and copy image address, go back to Project Pals and go to the media section here and click on the plus button. And here there's 2 options. Find it on your hard drive or insert the URL, which we just did. So I'm going to insert it and click go. And it adds the image that I just captured to my media section. By the way, you can change names of your media. So if you need to change the name, you just highlight, type your new name and press the check mark here next to it. To add media to the workspace, just select it and place on workspace. And when you place something on the workspace, you have the handles. You can resize, make it bigger, make it smaller, do anything you need to do. You can add into the media the following things. You can add images, you can add videos, you can add MP3 files, you can add PDFs, you can add G Suite files, all types of G Suite files. So let's say that you need to make a survey in Google and you need to add that survey here as an icon. You can do that. So, and the way to add any G Suite file or any file that the student, so basically Project Pals is not trying to do what Google is already doing wonderfully. So let's say that you need a spreadsheet. The students are adding a spreadsheet because they are recording something in a spreadsheet. You can then import that spreadsheet into Project Pals, have an icon of the spreadsheet here, and when you double click on it, it opens that spreadsheet as additional information to whatever is placed here. And the way you do that is you just go to your Google file, and let's say that you go here to whatever, I'm going to go to project here. And let's say that in these projects, I'm going to just choose one that has some spreadsheet. Or any other file, doesn't matter. Here's a spreadsheet. Wonderful. So I'm going to double click on it. And this is a spreadsheet that I want to include because I want students in this project to use the spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on share and go to where it says get link. I'm going to say I'm going to make sure that anyone with the link can view. And if it's not there anyone, then I'm going to change that to that. So here are all the options. Of course, this needs to be selected. And then once you have that, you just copy the link. And then when you go to Project Pals and you go to the media, you then click again on the plus button and insert that URL that you just copied. And here is your spreadsheet. And when you click on it, you click place on the workspace. Here is your file. You can even explain what this is. And then the students are going to double click on it and open it. And oh, this is what we need to fill out and so on. So that's a way to add any type of file into Project Pals. Now, questions. To add a question, you click on the questions tool. That is giving you here an empty question that you can now make it bigger or smaller. Click inside and again, click to edit. You can start typing my question, whatever your question is, you know, and that's your question. We also have the component and the events tool, which I don't know if you want me, these are our computational thinking tools. We have projects with that, and I'm going to shift to another project to show you how that works. Here, the ideate section. So you have already seen how we have questions, and the label here actually indicates that what you are going to expect here is to find the question. We also have, though, these. These are what we call analysis styles. Similarly to the question, you can define an analysis style as problem or solution or whatever you want to call it. And then on the top, you know that you are going to expect a definition of a problem. So here, like I said, the default is problem, solution, and evidence. But what's great about this is that you can define your own custom ones. And so let's say that you also need them to talk about cause. So you will define a cause tile, and you will say, replace this with a cause to the problem. And then you create it. You can now that you created the cause, where did it go? Where did the cause go? Huh. That's weird. Let me see again. Yeah. Let's see if it added it here. Yes, it added. It just didn't put it on the workspace. Okay, probably a problem I need to report on. I apologize. I mean, we are making changes all the time, so I'm guessing that that's what's happening. That once they are making these changes, that they're sometimes screwing up other things. And then we also have an annotation tool. I'm going to show you the annotation, how the annotation tool works. And this is an important thing, the last one. And the last one is the relationship tool. So the relationship tool, you know, let's say that you want to do a mind map. You want to do a mind map and you want to connect items. Let's say that in this brainstorming, you want to make like a main idea and sub ideas and so on. you will go to the relationship tool, and here you have the line types, what type of line, the thickness, and whether it's going to end with an arrow, and even a color for it. And once you have the relationship tool on, you get all these little dots. For every object gets these little dots that you can now drag from it to another object and even define the relationship between them. So let's say that, you know, this is the relationship, you press create. So it shows how this improves, or, you know, whatever the relationship is between them, or maybe even, you know, it probably make more sense if you say is part of. This brainstorming idea is part of this main brainstorming idea, or so on. So this is how you work, and the dots are showing up only when the relationship tool is open. When you close the relationship tool, those dots disappear, of course. So that's the relationship tool. On the bottom left, you can now, let's say that you need to move a lot of things together on the workspace. You will use the arrow. On the arrow here allows you to then drag over objects and move them at the same time to a different location. So that's the arrow here. Once the students have finished the project and they are going to show off what they did, we have a presentation mode. You can click on the second tool next to the arrow, and that turns the entire workspace into a presentation. And now you have these arrows that are going to move you from tab to tab, and the students can explain to the class what they did. So this is very powerful. We also have a zoom in and a zoom out. And here is centering to normal. The other things that we have in the workspace is that students can comment, and you can comment on students' work, and students can comment on each other's work. The way to do that, every object has the little commenting icon that you can click on, and it opens up this, and you can say this, and this is like Google, of course, and you can say, this is great work, or something, or whatever, or needs more work, or whatever you want to say. And because it's not a student doing it, when a student does it, it's going to show up with a little icon, a number icon that says that there is a comment here that was done. And then the student will come and click on it, and that commenting box is going to open, and they can respond to the comment. So that's the commenting tool. And then we now have also each object. You can click on the three dots and you can see who did what. You can select the show history. And here, because right now, let's say that I am going to type something here. Instead of process 2, I'm going to call it my process. And then I just did that. When I click on the three dots and I'm going to show history, it's going to show that Miriam added my process here. And it's going to show when was it added, and so on. So so that's another thing that you can have. Right now, it's only showing up as a for every object, but in the future, we are planning to add another option here, another menu option that's going to create like a report. And that's coming very soon, by the way. That's going to create a report for you to see exactly who contributed what, so you don't have to go to each object and check out what was happening. Analytics. Let me show you how the analytics looks like once students start working. And what we are going to do is I'm going to go to the to a finished project here. I'm going to go to my science class here, and I'm going to go to a finished project. And when I go, and by the way, the students are going to see this pie chart, how much each of them contributed to the project. And this is an amazing, amazing motivator. For them, but you as a teacher will see this. You as a teacher will see these charts that are going to show you, and each student is a color here. Each student blue, you know, Benjamin is blue, Elizabeth is red, and so on. And so now by date, you can come and see how many actions they did that day, and or how many sessions in and out they did, or how many collaboration. And collaboration means that they are working on the same object at the same time. Not at the same time, they are working on the same object together. And then how much time they spent in the system, and so on. By the way, collaboration, if they comment on each other's work, that's also considered collaboration. You also get the information here on the bottom in a table format. And you also get that pie chart that students can see. You will also get that down here. In addition to that, you will also get information about what type of contribution they did. If they only did text boxes, or they only did media, or analysis styles, or event tool, and so on. So everything will show up here. Okay, so let me just take you to any of the project, of the health project, maybe take you through to some of the health projects that we already have in the system, and maybe you can customize it for your own needs. So in the Project Pulse catalog, we have several health projects. So for example, we have how to perform medical diagnostic tests. I don't know if you guys are teaching that, but this is available. And when we go to the workspace, then it starts with actually our computational thinking tools, the ones that I didn't show you yet. So the idea behind the computational thinking tools is that, and we are great believers in that, is that when you have a project, a specific project, you have main parts, you have parts that you need to actually tackle in order to understand the project. So for example, if you are teaching about diagnostic tests, blood tests, then all these like cardiac enzymes, electrolytes, all these things are part of that. So in order to understand all these things, you need to kind of delve deep into each of them and find the characteristics of each. So what students are doing in this case is they are going and they are doing research about cardiac enzymes. And then here are, when you click on the branches, it tells you replace this text with a characteristic of cardiac enzyme. What's special about them? And so what students are going to do, they are going to describe cardiac enzymes and their main characteristics in short sentences like that. And they can add as many characteristics as they need, and they will make it very short sentences. The big advantage of this is they are focusing on the main things. They are focusing on what is essential. And then it actually helps them remember it more, and it also helps them to comprehend it better. But the big advantage is also that when you open this, the other students can review this, and they can add to it or weigh in and fix stuff and change stuff. So this is also has a great advantage in terms of collaboration. And again, what's being created here is basically like a repository of knowledge, because everything that has to do with blood tests, with diagnostic tests, the students are going to now, the work is going to be divided. Some will work on cardiac enzymes, the other one will work on electrolyte sodium. So each of them will work on something, and then they get together, review each other's work, and get updated about these things. So these are our component tools. To create a component, the tool is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth tool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth tool here, And all you have to do is just type in the name of your component, put an image here if you have a relevant image. And then to see how to update this is basically when you go next, after you type the name in the image, you will now type these branches. You will replace the stacks with a characteristic of cardiac enzymes and another one and another one. If you need to add more, just click on the add item, and that will add another one for you that you can now add. And then the next tool is the next tool after components is the events tool. And our time, yeah, we still have time. And the next tool after that is the events tool. So the events tool, and let's see, we don't have it in this project, but let me actually take you to a finished project here. To one of our, also I'm going to the project cost catalog, but I'm going to go to the completed project. And here we have a project that's called cardiovascular case studies. And when I go here, basically this project is about 3 cases of people that went into the emergency room. And the students need to, based on information that they learn about the heart, about the circulatory system. So these are finished projects. This is with all the characteristics and everything already done, and all the research was done. The students now build knowledge by, you know, for example, this is another way for them to build knowledge, is that they get all these hard facts and they need to classify them whether they are true or false. So all they have to do is just move them to the true or the false section. And then hard tests, special hard tests. What are the hard tests? And this is our second tool that I was talking about. The second tool is the events tool. So if the components are the main parts of a problem or a project, the events are the main processes. And you guys are dealing with a lot of processes. You have a lot of processes. And so these here, so in components, the branches are items. In events, the branches are steps. So this is step 1. So for example, how to measure body temperature. So students here are going to investigate this and use a step-by-step, you know, description of how to measure body temperature, and they will add relevant images. And you can also, what's great about the events tool is that you can view it as a gallery. So when you view it as a gallery, you actually see the image as big and the text as small, and you can scroll through it like this. This is very powerful. And we are working on adding videos here. So you can add not just images, but also videos. So if you want to describe a process and the kids are going to capture like videos of each step, then they can add it as in here. And so that's another way to do it. You can also map things on a Google map. I don't know if it's relevant in medical, but if it does, you can place here like the image and the description on exactly on a map where things are happening. But this is more like social studies stuff, not so much medical. So these are all the processes: how to measure respiration, or how to measure heart stroke, and so on. Like I said, sometimes students' personal data sheet. So here is a data sheet, for example. I just wanted to show you how that works. So here, this is where they will start measuring their own information, and they will record it in a Google document, and they will include it. So they will include it here, and they will place the file here, so that once they want to see exactly, you know, what are their information that they had to record, here it is. But finally, I just want to take you to where the case studies are. So here is a case study. Here is Arturo, and he went to the emergency room. There's a whole story about him and what happened. And then here are the students, what they need to do based on all the information that they learned about the heart, about cardiovascular illnesses, about anything and everything that's relevant. They now have to prescribe different type of tests. And these are the tests that they are prescribing. So if you double click on this, then it opens up a worksheet with the test that they actually recorded for Arturo. And based on this information, an additional test that they are going to prescribe, they will have to come up with the diagnosis for Arturo. So I'm going to stop here because I talked a lot, and I am opening it up to more questions based on what I just presented.
Is there more of an opportunity now? I know before the ability to clone lesson plans that are in the catalog within the Project Pals was very limited. Is that option, has it opened up more in terms of cloning?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we have not just these specific medical projects, but even things that are relevant to you guys, like you are what you eat. This is, you know, and what's the great thing about it is that now you can copy, not just now, but even before, you can copy tabs. So let's say that you don't have these as one tab templates, but you still want to use it in another project, like healthy lifestyle brainstorming. What is a healthy lifestyle? Say you want this into another project. You can copy this. And the way to do that is that you first create your own health project. So I'm going to call it my health project. And you just found this in one of my projects. And I'm going to skip the description and this. And now I'm going to just choose the blank one and create a project for myself. And then I'm going to go back to that project that I had about health. And I'm going to go to You Are What You Eat here. And I'm going to go to, after I clone it, of course, you need to clone this first. And you go to the workspace. And here you're going to go to the brainstorming one and right click and copy tab. And the project that you just created, my health project, will be on the top, and you just select that. And when you go back to it in the catalog and you open my health project and you go to the workspace, you will see the first tab that was created for you automatically. You can, by the way, delete it. And you will see now what you just copied. So you can now mix and match from different projects, things that you're interested in, that you know that you can use in your teaching and also build that. But in addition to that, we are constantly adding. I'm just, by the way, working on how diet affects health, and this is coming up very soon into the catalog. And it deals with cell health and obesity, and deals with healthier food and nutrients and chemicals and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, so definitely there is much more chance here and a much bigger selection of projects that you can use.
I'm in Project Pals right now, and I noticed that in the completed projects are still not able to. We're still not able to clone those, right? It's all the ones that are just like the lesson plans.
That's right. Okay. So there's no purpose in cloning completed projects,
right?
Because which one are you interested in? Maybe I can make a
no. I'm just kind of playing with it, just kind of going with it.
Completed projects are projects that are done already. To clone them, that means that you are also getting the student information that they did the research in it.
Gotcha. Yes.
So yeah,
okay.
so there's no point for that.
So they'll be in what appears on the lesson plan is the shell, right? That can be cloned, and then the completed is with everybody's work.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are the single tab templates. If you want to review those, you know, we have like 3 pages of those here. You can go through it. Yeah. I will be very happy if you guys will send me a list of topics and things that you guys are dealing with. And that way I can tailor some of the projects here to what you guys are teaching. Okay, so I don't know, so what, maybe some of you will come up with that list and send it to me. I will be happy to add things here that are more relevant to what you are teaching.
Okay, will do.
Okay.
Thank you, Miriam.
Yeah, absolutely. So any more questions that I can help you guys with? Would anybody be interested to like do a one-on-one to start the project before you actually assign it to the class?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Is this in medical?
So you decide to do a project, and would you like to have a one-on-one with me to set it up and then yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple PBLs that I'm working on. I haven't introduced them yet. I'm kind of still figuring it out. This week we're talking about the skeletal system, so I want to kind of maybe next week introduce something where they can collaboratively work on something where they're going through patient cases and figuring out, you know, based on a scenario, like for example, they had a really bad car accident and trying to figure out what type of fracture and come up with like a diagnosis. So I have some stuff that I'm working on. Like I said, I'm hoping to introduce it next week. It doesn't have to be next week, but if we can come up with something, yeah, I'd love to work with you
Perfect.
on something like that. Yeah.
Perfect. We can schedule something. So you let me know when are you available, and we'll schedule a session. If somebody else wants to join her, you guys are really welcome. Or if you want something something specific that's different, that you want to do it one-on-one with me, I'll be happy to help.
Yeah, or maybe Mrs. Murphy, since she's sports medicine, should be a good contributor to my PBL on the skeletal system. I'm sure she has piles and piles of resources that we can use.
And by the way, you can team up. You can author a project together. I'm sure you know that, right?
Yeah,
so you can author it together if you have something that's, you know, similar.
Yeah, definitely. I'll reach out to you, Miriam. I'll send you an email. Maybe we can get together soon. Maybe
Wonderful.
this week.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How about any other I mean, you guys want to do something like that, a project that you would like to team up with me before you actually assign it to the class and work on?
Miriam?
Yeah.
Sorry I was late. I have a lot of meetings right now, but I have a meeting right now at 9 o'clock, an advisory meeting for Gary High School. But maybe you can contact me at your earliest convenience, and then we can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, cool. Amanda
Bye-bye.
and Rosalind, any interest in any project to work together before you assign it to the class?
I might jump in. Oh, sorry. I might jump into Hilda's meeting with you because I'm interested in doing something really similar to that.
All right,
as
wonderful.
Well.
How about Rosalind?
Right now, I want to look more into it and what I want to do. We only have 2 weeks left of the semester, so to do a project right now, but to begin for the following semester, I would be something I would work on over Christmas break.
Then send me a note next semester when you want to meet, and we can schedule that and work on it.
Okay.
Wonderful. Sounds good. Okay, so great, really great. I'm going to send the recording, and I'm going to, Hilda, and everybody, I'm going to also give you the link to those short videos that show you how to do stuff. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
and I'm going to send you the recording. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.